Welcome to Pull the Pin Already War Room. As usual, I'm your host Jim, and with me is Mike. Alrighty, Mike, looks like it's me and you again.
Right, let's do it.
Awesome. So we're going to just dive right into it since we both know the rules. These are actual headlines pulled off of news sites, and we're going to discuss them as we see them. No knowledge unless you have some pre-existing knowledge. No knowledge otherwise.
This is going to be brutal.
This is always fun. All right, we're going to start off with good old Texas. Governor Abbott sends National Guard troops to make arrest at Texas border.
Arresting who? Yeah, I know about this. I have absolutely no issue with this.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I have absolutely no issue with it. This used to be considered political suicide, but I'm glad he's taking a stand, and it should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah, and this is part of what I think is a problem with our government, and when we keep getting these big city governments that they don't know the stance, because Texas is directly impacted by illegal immigration.
Yep.
Directly. California is a little bit too, but Texas has got the biggest border, right, with Mexico. Right. They're impacted directly. And you got people up in New York talking about, the immigrants, this immigrant. They don't even know. You got Kamala Harris, who didn't even go down there. And then she did. She was, 500 miles away or something?
I think it's about 400.
It was 400?
Yeah,
my
she
bad.
was closer.
My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, don't let me embellish. Keep me honest. But you get what I'm saying? So These people are trying to make policies about things they don't even know when, Texas, I don't blame them. Do what's best for your state.
Wow, here we go.
What?
Do what's best for your state.
Yeah.
Just talked about that on the previous episode.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so.
Well, that's why they're states, right? Isn't that why we created each state? Each state runs independent.
Yep.
They come together to form the United States, but they're all independent states.
That's it.
So that's why I'm for a smaller government. Let the government stop interfering with the states. I know Nate brought up a lot, he used to complain about like a standard concealed carry permit or whatever like that, or standard driver's license. Although I can see his argument and I understand it, that if you're like a U.S. passport, it's for the U.S., it's for all American citizens. But I also understand that too, certain states may have different requirements for things, and maybe they want you to get their license because they want you to take their test. I don't know. So.
Well, I've always felt that way. It should be one driver's license for the state. United States, excuse me.
Sure.
Concealed carry, same thing.
Yeah, and I understand. Yeah. Like I said, I could probably get on board with those things that are similar if all the states can come to a standard. And if not, say, hey, make your case. Why is yours different? Yeah. What is different about your state that it can't be a federal standard?
Yeah.
Then I'd get on board.
Yeah.
So I agree with you as well. I just think in default, you got to leave it to the state.
I agree with that as well.
Because Montana may have different requirements.
Yeah, it's like then the standard. Now you're talking about the age requirement as well. So different states have different age requirements.
Think about it. Like, let's say you got a state that's full of farms, and they need 14-year-old boys, girls, whatever, to start driving earlier to work on farms. How do you give them a federal license when other states say, no, you can't drive till you're 16, 17?
Right.
Now, you could add two, right? You could probably say...
That's when you can still have your classes, though.
Right. Or you can have a specific underclass driver's license.
Yeah.
Only good for that state.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I get it.
Yeah. Or just a class F only for farm equipment.
Right.
Something like that.
It probably is that anyway. There's probably something exists like that anyway. But I
don't think
it.
they have a license at all when they're that young. They don't have anything. The parents just teach them how to operate it, and they just do it. Who's going to come on the farm and check them?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think they do
Yeah.
have something, but I don't think they get it.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
So
Absolutely
back
not.
to the border thing. So does this validate, or do you consider this just a stunt? Does this validate the problem we have at the border that no one wants to recognize?
I would say yeah. Yeah, did it need it though? Some validation? I don't know.
Well, I
It's
think
like I
people are
said,
still
it's been a
denying it.
huh?
They're still denying it that there's a
Oh,
problem at the border.
I have never seen anyone deny that.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's either we need to do something about it, or hey, just let him come in. This is
Hmm.
America. Let it come in. But when you're not living down there, it's no problem. No, what's
Right.
the problem? Yeah. But if you
And
had a house down there, uh,
they say it's all connected. They say that this is the replacement votes that they're trying to get in for the Democratic Party.
yeah,
That's what they're saying. But I
yeah,
mean, honestly, they're illegal votes. So I kind of believe it because they're accusing Texas of being too strict on voting.
hmm
So the illegals can't vote
voted
because they're
multiple
not
times here in
citizens.
Texas. They're not strict.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that's what they're accusing them of.
Whoever told
So,
you Texas is strict on voting, I'd like to have a conversation with them. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I don't vote in Texas.
yeah, I do, and it's not strict.
Well, they're trying to make it more accountable, I think, right?
Yeah, well, making people accountable is not making it strict.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. So you would think that, well, who would be against that, right? I mean, I don't want to
Right.
take this off in a whole voting tangent, but who would be against proving who you are? Because they say that these rules take away votes, but in all actuality, by you proving who you are, validates your vote.
Yeah.
No one else can use it.
Yep.
So it doesn't take away. And if you can't somehow find a way to get to the voting booth or get an ID or the last four of your social or whatever, then you probably, like I said, you probably don't need to be voting. I've already said that though. But anyways, that's good. Anything else you want to
Yeah.
add to that?
Now let's go to the
All
next
right,
one.
but we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep state of Texas going because this is a hot spot. First warrant signed for Texas Democrat who fled to D.C. I don't know who the warrant is for which one, but
All right, that's a little grandstanding to me.
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. But isn't it? Is it not equally opposite to the other grandstanding that they were doing?
Yeah.
Probably a tit for tat, you know?
Yep. Well, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I
What
mean,
are they
this is
gonna
just
do?
the headline.
Okay,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I know. They catch them or they just walk in, they just turn themselves in. They'll be out in a couple of hours, and it doesn't make a difference, man. I don't know. I don't like that one. I don't like that one bit. Even if it was for the other side, it's like, come on, man. Because now it's like, okay, now you got to go tit for tat and say things like, okay, now when you guys do it, and you will, we're gonna have a right, not a right, but we can do to you what you're doing to us.
Right.
Not in Texas. It have to be another state.
Well, but let me ask you a question though. Is it against the law? Is it legit? Are they really just enforcing the law where before they wouldn't have enforced it? They would have just
Right.
let them break the
Yeah.
law.
I think it's I don't think it's against the law. No.
You don't
I
think
don't-
what they did is warrantable?
No.
Apparently, somebody signed a warrant.
Yeah, I know, but hey, how many laws have we talked about where it's like, man, that's just come on, seriously?
Well, but that's my question. I mean, that's good. That's good debate we can have even for another topic. Is that's the question? Is just because a law exists, do you enforce it or not? And if you don't enforce it, why is it a law? Change the
Right.
law. Get rid of the law. So, in fact, if this is a law where we're not supposed to flee, they're breaking the law. What is Texas supposed to do? Just
Well, I
not
get
enforce
that.
it because they're politicians?
Right, I get that. I get
Hmm.
that. If they broke the law, then they should, serve their time in court. But
So that's
to
why I'm
me,
saying the tit for tat, from a political standpoint, is childish.
yeah,
But if you're going to set the standard that, hey, this day forward, even if Republicans do it, this is the standard because it's the law, I'm all for it.
yeah, but we know that's not the case.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. From that perspective, I'm all for it. Enforce
Yeah.
the law.
Yeah,
It's what you should have been doing anyway.
yep, I agree.
So that's Texas, right?
Yeah, Everything happens in Texas.
Queers and steers. Where's your horns?
Mm. I put them up.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice. All right. So, speaking of, that's a good segue into our next one. Some medical schools now teaching that biological sex is a social construct.
Biological sex is biological sex.
Yeah, just sit in that word for a second. Just sit on that word, biological.
Biological sex.
Like, can biological be socially constructed?
I would like to know the medical school.
There's several of them, not just one. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. Obviously, we both disagree with that.
Well, right. Well, there's been an argument between sex and gender, right? They're trying to say they're two different things. So maybe they're agreeing that gender is still biological. I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah,
I thought sex was supposed to be biological. Gender was the one that was socially constructed.
Yeah.
That's why this strikes me as odd, because did we socially construct the penis? I mean, when you look and you say, "Hey, who socially constructed that?" Like, isn't that biology?
Mm-hmm.
So, in the uterus, like, isn't that like?
Right.
So, did we socially construct that?
I just can't believe this.
Well, you got to believe it. It's happening, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you always contest it's not true.
Well, let me ask you this: are any of the ones in Texas doing this?
No, these are probably all in New York and California.
Yeah.
The big cities that they have to get their way.
Oh man, this is sad.
Isn't it? It's sad.
Yeah.
And what's sad is, like, we're getting to that point, and they've talked about this, and there's so many books and people writing about this stuff, how we've reached these levels, and people are just like, oh no, that's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen. But look what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about something that is indisputable.
Yeah.
Could we be completely wrong about biology? Yes. Mm-hmm. But is there a difference between a penis and a uterus? Yes. So even if we're completely wrong about biology, we can call it whatever we want. There's a real difference between the two.
Yeah.
So whatever you want to call it, gender, sex, whatever, it's still different. Mm. Why are we debating that?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, what's the next one?
Let's talk about sex.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. This is one we mentioned the previous episode that I wanted to come back to. Some states forced to restore $300 unemployment benefits after jobless Americans sue. Well, they got all that money to sue now, right? So.
Yeah, but who are they? Like, what's the lawsuit though?
I don't know. Maybe they're not being treated fairly because other states are getting it. I don't know.
So these states are being sued. Okay.
This is part of the states, like there was some member of the 30 states or something that took the unemployment benefits away.
Yeah.
So they're being sued, those states are, so they were forced to restore it. And it may not even be a determination yet. It might be one of those where they put a hold on it. So they force them to go back and pay it until the settlement. Yeah. But then what happens? Do they force them to pay it back if they lose the case? Like what?
Yeah, I would say yeah. Now with that $300 benefit there, I say if you do it and say, hey, once you start working again, you have to pay us that back.
Yes. Yeah. But what's wrong with that, Mike? What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I thought it was a good idea.
Conceptually, nothing's wrong with that. It's a great idea. The problem is all those little college kids that got all their degrees now want the government to pay their college degree off. Mm. Now you're going to make people who were working on unemployment pay off their unemployment? Mm. It's the same whiny liberal babies that are going to be out there, oh, no, it should be free, which they don't even realize free is not free because somebody's paying for it.
Somebody's always paying for it.
Yeah. So I'm with you. I think that's a great idea. In fact, I think even everybody who's been given these benefits should pay them back. Yeah. The excess. Mm-hmm. Pay back the taxes that you took from other people. Yeah. Not the unemployment benefit, because I want to make sure I'm clearly make my stance on this, or my stand on this. unemployment is an insurance that you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something entitled to you no matter whether you're collecting unemployment. It's totally different than welfare. Welfare is on the backs of the taxpayers. Unemployment is an insurance that you pay for. So when you become unemployed, you get and deserve every penny of unemployment. What we're talking about is this call it a stimulus, whatever you want to call it, the additional payments that the government took from taxpayers to supplement unemployment.
Right.
That's the money you are not entitled to, and you should have to pay it back.
Right.
Because that's the purpose, right? The purpose is to keep you afloat while you're unemployed. Not to give you a dream vacation, not to give you new TVs, not to give you, all this money in the bank. It's to keep you afloat. So you should pay it back.
Yeah.
And I would love
agree.
it. I don't know if it's legal, but I would love it if they came back after all that money.
Right. Just say, hey, just pay us back $25 a week or $25 a paycheck.
Right. And what does that do? What does that do to the new wage? So now you're getting $15 an hour. That drops you down to 10 again because you got to pay $5 back because they gave you free money earlier.
Yeah.
People don't get it, man. I mean, you don't got to be a genius, but people don't get it.
Yeah.
So,
anyways,
right. We don't want to go off into a different tangent, but
so there we never do that. Go ahead.
Right, but you remember there we were excited about this happening, and then the employment went back up, and now all of a sudden, people are suing. So, but those must be the people who didn't want to go to work.
They were suing because they couldn't find a job, but maybe that's these select few. I don't know. Yeah,
we're just taking this at face value because it says, well, first of all, how many people could sue a state that would force them to restore it? If one or two people sued, would that really force them to restore it?
No. It'd have to be like that class action type. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, or they can just go to a higher court and request, a freeze or a stay or whatever those things are. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to pretend to be a lawyer. But I'll give you legal advice if you want. No, I'm just kidding. All right, next one. Speaking of courts, what a segue. Like, we are so on these segues. Look at this. Biden forbids immigration judges from using the term alien.
I agree.
You agree?
Yeah. You don't agree with that? It should be illegal alien.
So what are they now? Illegal?
Illegal alien.
But judges can't use the word alien, so what are they?
Oh, I thought it just can't say alien, but you can say illegal alien. That's what I was saying.
Well, right. But unless that's one word, illegal alien, then they can't use the end of that.
So what do they have to do? That undocumented worker, whatever that crap is? Yeah. Okay. All right. What they say? It is what it is. You have the same result. You have someone here that by law should not be here.
Sure. In the end, the semantic argument is stupid, but let's go to the educational part. Like we're talking about a government, right? People running this country. Now, I believe it was Paul, right? Paul corrected us on the inalienable rights.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think the core definition of that word is around?
Well, it's what it is. It's like unalienable, right? That's what he was talking about. And we've had that discussion before, and it's like, so my rights, you can't put a lien on my rights. Right.
So could we just call these guys aliens?
I thought you were going somewhere, Jim. I really did.
I just wanted to feel smart for a second. You feel smart?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Researchers find 110 more secret Chinese nuclear missile silos under construction.
Should you really needed that extra 10 there, huh?
No, those are only the ones they found.
Yeah.
It's probably like 350.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I mean, because what do they say? I have yet to meet anyone who says that once one missile is launched, rocket, whatever, missile is launched, that's not the end. until you come up with a defense mechanism to
Or
these launches, then once you launch one, that's it. It's over.
or what? Or what? The element of surprise where you don't even know it's coming.
Yeah, that would be yeah. But then, do you really need it 110?
I don't know. Maybe that is their defense.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
it
you
could be.
flood the skies with them, and the hope they can do is just throw a Hail Mary in return, hoping, I don't know, one of them misses a hits. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not a surprise. You're not surprised by it, are you?
Nah.
What I'm surprised by is they just now found them.
I
They're
think
under
it's more
construction. They're under construction.
Yeah,
'Cause-
I think
'cause
yeah,
They probably have yellow cones all around, or
yeah,
orange cones
yeah.
and everything.
Stay away.
Yeah.
They probably had a big billboard saying "secret missile silo under construction coming soon" or
And you
something
had
like that.
and you had some 16-year-old kid looking at Google Maps or
Yeah.
Google Earth. Oh, look what I found.
Yeah.
That's the
Wow.
researchers.
Yep. Oh, look over there. Got another one. Got another one.
All that
110.
military technology we have, and it took some researchers to find.
Yeah. Well, they're military researchers.
Oh, it didn't say that though. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I'm just making it up.
Yeah, these could be like little hackers from, I don't know, Taiwan. I don't know.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, that's interesting, but not surprising at all.
Right.
It's like they like people always say, they playing the long game, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Playing the long game.
And they can afford to because they're
Yeah.
communists.
Yep.
Yep. They can afford to. So, all right. You ready for the next one?
Yep. Let's do the next one.
Democrat State Rep Jewell Jones defends using campaign cash for strip club meeting.
How you feel about that one, Jim? I just got.
How do I feel?
Yeah.
Who's he taking?
Oh, my thing is, I just want to do something. I knew it. Damn it, I knew it. I had to Google it real quick.
You're cheating.
No, I was Googling him.
Oh, you want to
Yes,
see what the strip club looked like? Have you
Yeah.
been there before?
No, more like what he looked like. Say, just damn.
Well, those places aren't cheap. Not that I know this, but
It can be.
they can be.
Yeah, I mean, you don't spend that much money in there.
Well, what's the average amount you spend?
Well, dude, you talking decades since I've been in one. Oof.
Well, and how do you know
I
the
wouldn't
cost is
spend
the
more
same?
than, huh?
How do you know the cost is the
yeah,
same?
I'm just saying it doesn't have to be if you do like me. 20, $30.
Well, there's usually a cover, right? Because they know people can go in there and look and not order.
Right.
So it's usually a cover. So you're going to get in there, you're going to pay something right off the bat.
How about a 2-drink minimum?
And then the drinks are, usually $5 to $10.
Show me
Yeah.
a $5 drink in there.
Water,
$6.50.
soda, right?
Yeah, $7.50.
Right. And then obviously if you're going to, entertainment or anything you want to pay for,
Yeah.
not cheap.
Nah,
So-
no.
So although it may be a good place to take a bunch of people, I don't think it's a wise use of government money.
No. He's wrong
Well,
as I don't know what, man.
It's campaign cash, so I guess that's not technically government money yet.
Yeah.
It's donations.
Listen, you're a state rep taking campaign funds going to a strip club. It's wrong. Plain and simple. No matter how you want to shake it. You know what I mean? Oh, damn. No matter how you want to look at it. Oh, damn. Next one, Jim.
Well, wait. I want to visit this because what if we change strip club to Chuck E. Cheese?
That's still wrong. You're using it for personal reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where would you take them?
Take who?
It's a meeting. You're having a meeting.
God. I don't know. Take them to some steakhouse or something. I don't know.
That could be more expensive than Chuck E. Cheese.
True. That's true. But you're not going to see many voters in Chuck E. Cheese.
So it's a moral thing then, you're
Yeah.
saying. It's a moral thing. Morally, the strip club thing looks bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good inside, but bad from the outside perspective. All right,
Right.
next one. This is our last one. So if that one wasn't fun, this one will be fun. Obama sets celebrity-studded 60th birthday bash at $11 million Martha's Vineyard mansion.
He's having a birthday party at Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, at his $11 million mansion, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is like the oppression party of the year.
I don't get the $11 million.
Isn't that his house? Doesn't it cost $11 million?
Yeah, so why does it matter, though? He's having a birthday party at...
Do you know why it matters? I'll tell you why it matters, because I remember this distinctly, in an interview when he said he was talking about taxing and the rich and all that, when he made that comment about, when is enough enough? When do you have too much money? So he was commenting on the rich people about how they have too much money. They've got enough money. They need to not splurge and spend. They need to start putting back into the system.
Mm-hmm.
He was commenting about that. That was before he had an $11 million mansion.
Okay.
So I remember that. So I just think it's odd that, the way he's celebrating his 60th.
So he's on a different level now.
Yes, which just like Bernie Sanders, the millionaires and billionaires. Oh, no, the billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a millionaire, right?
Right.
Yeah, it just shows you, it highlights the hypocrisy.
Is it really hypocrisy, though?
Well, yeah, if you're telling people that they got too much money and then you go buy live $1 million house, do you need an $11 million house? I'm not mad that he's got it, whatever. But when you make those statements, like I think of myself, so I would have to eat crow if I got $11 million house, because I don't think I would ever need an $11 million house.
You don't think you would what?
I would ever need one.
Oh, okay.
Like I would sooner buy a rec center or a compound, like Waco, for all the people to live in. More than just me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would I need $11 million home? Like,
you don't know until that time comes.
Right. To host, Epstein and all the other friends you got.
Epstein, isn't he dead?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay. I thought he was.
You tell me. I don't know.
I don't know about the need, because someone that's not as well off as you now would say, why does he need the house you're in right now?
No, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, that's why I've opened my doors up to a veteran in need. I've opened my doors to that. So if I own an $11 million home and I stand before the people and talk about oppression and how poor people don't get anything and how they're being oppressed and all that, well, aren't you part of that oppression?
Not
You
really.
have an $11 million home.
Yeah, but you don't know about the other $11 million that he probably donated. So that's what I don't get.
Well, I don't. But if he like, there used to be what are the Templar Knights? You remember them? Where they made an oath to poverty. Do you remember that back in the days?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no. Anyways,
No.
They made an oath to poverty because they realized that the more money they had, the less other people had. So they can completely function in poverty because people would give them. They would supply them. So they didn't need to take. They didn't need more. And that was the true redistribution of wealth.
Right.
So what I'm saying is I don't really care how rich and well off you are. Why do you need an $11 million home? Like, what do you do in that?
Well, I mean, the same way that you need your $25,000 home.
No, not true. My home's not 25. That'd be a trailer. But I'm saying is, like, I have to pay the home prices to be in this neighborhood where I feel safe.
Okay.
Right? Now, I could go get that $25,000 trailer and put money into a perimeter, a wall, and build a little Waco, Texas, and feel safe too. I don't know what extra level $11 million home would bring me. Now, would it be nice? Sure, I guess.
Yeah,
but then I'd have to live with myself and say, okay.
Hey, I'm not justifying it at all. It's like when I hear those type comments, I'm like, yeah, I used to think the same way. But he can't come to my neighborhood and live without being harassed or, And that goes for any ex or former president at that level. He just can't. So if he's taking his money and putting it into the market and buying this $11 house, I don't have an issue. 11. Did I say $11? $11 million house. I don't have an issue with it.
Well, I don't either. I mean, like I said, I don't have an issue with even rich people having rich houses. I think it's better spent if you're going to speak about helping. You know, it just looks bad. It just goes back to the strip club thing to me.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk about people in poverty and you live in a house that's worth $11 million, when really all you need is a $500,000 house in that same neighborhood. You know, you're talking about he can't live where we live, but he doesn't need an $11 million house. He can have a $500,000 house in that neighborhood.
So who determines what Jim needs?
Who determines what I need?
Yeah.
Well, I do.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah,
All
but
right.
I'm saying I'm not sitting here saying, you know, you're being held back or rich people have too much money and then I become rich and then just do exactly what I just said. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you kind of are when you say he doesn't need an $11 million house.
Okay, so you're saying is he does need it in his eyes.
No way am I saying that.
That's what it sounds like because that's all I'm saying.
He needs it what?
That he thinks he needs an $11 million home.
No, the only thing I would say was that he wanted it.
Sure.
That's all I would say.
And I'm talking about needs. Wants, needs. It's different to want. I mean, you can want to buy the New York Knicks. That's great. But you don't need a basketball team.
Right. But
So there's nothing wrong with wants. He wants an $11 million home because he has $11 million to spend on a home. That's great. But he spoke about rich people having too much money. When is enough enough? And then he goes and buys a home that to me is enough. More than enough home that he needs.
Right, but to him it's not. And the thing about it is, if he spoke and didn't know what he was, because you said he said this before, you know, he had all this money. So he didn't know what he was talking about. And his defense, he can say, well, I don't have enough money yet. Like, when is enough enough? I didn't.
Right, because he doesn't own an island like Epstein. He doesn't. Right. So there's people out there with way more than he has. So clearly, he's on the low end of the totem pole as far as filthy rich.
Right.
I get it. Back to the $11 house. So we'll go ahead and close out here because I don't know what we're even talking about anymore. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us here in the War Room. If you're a veteran, get on www.pullthepinalready.com. And until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.